Next up, we have Geometrical Dominator by Waterflame, featured in Geometry Dash, is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, a little bit in the news, like the video, share the comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, join the Patreon, subscribe to the gaming channel, subscribe to the Reacts channel, how to request songs if you're not the live stream members, getting early access to the content, I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things that are down in this video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitarded, so please keep that in mind. With that, this is official OST made for Geometry Dash. Okay, so licensed for Geometry Dash. There you go. Let's do this. Geometrical Dominator. Let's go. No, not tomorrow. No, tomorrow we're doing a cooking stream. Okay, so yeah, tomorrow I think... No, I think tomorrow we're going to do more LFAs, because next Friday, there's no stream next Friday, because I have RP, and I still haven't received, like, my new cable still hasn't arrived, so, I think we're just going to do more LFAs tomorrow. Anyway! Yeah, no, like, I'm missing one cable, and I really want that cable before we cook. So I think we're just going to do the cooking stream next week, and then do the, like, basically we're going to be doing tomorrow, Mondays LFAs tomorrow, then Thursdays on Mondays, and just moving with that. Anyway, so we're having this, we're starting the piece over here. We have a little bit of a fade in. We bring in the drums, giving us the drum beat. We have the bass there, giving us the bass line. Very, very nice one over there. And then we bring in the melody. Melody, of course, very, very nice and bright right in your face, giving us that initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of a musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. Let's see where this goes. Continuing the melody. Okay, so we have, not only do we have the first part of the melody there, we are then giving what is called a call and response. We're basing this on a call and response. Call and response being a musical conversation. This one is kind of a call and response chain, where we are having the first melody is our call, which, you know, it's a musical conversation. We had the first melody, pa-pa-pa-bum, the pa-pa-pa-bum-bum-bum. That is our first call, which then goes to our first response. The first response is a bit of the percussion, giving us a little bit of extra texture over there. Then this response becomes a call, which then goes into a response. That is our, the bass melody, the bass line side of the melody, giving us another variation of the motif, and that becomes a call, for which then we get the response, which is the original melody, and we are basically cycling through all of these three. Let's see where this goes. No, Rhythm System tomorrow we might be doing, like, the original plan for tomorrow, Saturday, was a cooking stream with gaming. Like, we would be playing more Pal World. But next Friday, there's no stream, so I think we're just going to do those LFAs tomorrow. Anyway, let's see where it goes. There's the bass. And then in between, we have another synth in the back, giving us some arpeggios, right? We're getting some arpeggiated chords in the back by one of the bass synths. An arpeggio is when you play a chord one note at a time. For example, here's C major, here's arpeggiated. So yeah, excuse me, we're having that going on. Let's see where this goes. There we go. Now the melody with the arpeggios. A little break there. Slowing everything down. Okay, so we switch over. We have a bit of a transition section over here, focusing mainly on texture. We slow down the drums a little bit, and we focus still on that call and response chain, this time mainly on the bass synths. What if we gave more data? Well, there you go. Let's see where this goes. Okay, so we switch over here. Off the ramp we go, right? Off the ramp being a colloquial term that I use. Colloquial, by that I mean there is no official academic definition for this, or at least I'm choosing not to use it for the sake of simplicity. And off the ramp is what I like to call any type of transition that makes your listener feel suspended up in the air at the mercy of inertia, waiting to see where you land. Kind of like going off a ramp. How do you do this? Remove the drums, maybe the bass as well. In this case, we are bringing an inversion of the motif. Inversion in melody is when you take a melody and you play an upside down reflection of it. For example, if I were to play this and I were to invert it, then I would be playing an upside down reflection of it, basically going the opposite way. So the first melody, this kind of melody, and now we're having the kind of melody going the opposite way, and we're building on top of that. Let's see where this goes. With still the arpeggiation in the background. There's the drums again. Nice. We are still bringing a call and response. We're switching between different synths over here. Ba 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 bum bum. We're having that little phrase over there, hiding it in the background, probably introducing it as secondary material so that we can use it as main material later on, or we are just using it as extra layers to add to what is already going on. Either way, it adds a little bit of counterpoint to this whole thing. Counterpoint being the study, the art of melodies. How they are, how they develop, how they interact with one another, usually in the context of having two or more melodies playing at the same time. So basically we're just adding a couple of extra melodies over there, bit more flavor still with the call and response, adding a bit more complexity to this whole thing. Let me hear a bit more. Shift tune. Nice. There's the main melody. Developing that melody further. So yeah, it sounds like we are bringing in what sounds to be potentially a leitmotif, because this melody is not really related to anything we've done before, and it's done in a very peculiar way that it sounds like it would belong to another piece of music. So we are either doing a leitmotif over here, leitmotif, or we are doing a quote. We are bringing completely unrelated material, and we are bringing it on this piece to reference back that material. So this melody could be from another work, either by Waterflame or by somebody else. If it is by Waterflame, then it would be a leitmotif. Because this one was from Geometry Dash, it could be another track used in Geometry Dash in the official soundtrack, or if it is not, then it would be Waterflame quoting somebody else. The idea of a leitmotif and a quote is that you're bringing another motif into the piece that references something else. It references another piece of work. That references another piece of work. So it's basically, this is the same thing as if Waterflame had just decided to play this, right? That kind of thing. So the whole idea here is to call back to something else. I don't recognize the melody, but I don't recognize the melody in general, and I don't recognize it being a development of what has already happened, which is giving me the idea over here. Now, something else that could be is that Waterflame thought this is a cool melody and we're just going to put it over here, and it's not a quote or a leitmotif, which is a risk. Because when it comes to motifs are highly temperamental. They are very jealous creatures, absolute divas. If you're not constantly giving your motif the first motif that you have, if you're not constantly developing it, constantly giving it the spotlight, with the exception of something like a cadential motif or a quote or a leitmotif, then it risks breaking your music. It risks making it sound incoherent or disjointed. So it's a big risk to run. It doesn't mean that it's just not going to work. It doesn't mean that it's just not going to work. It just means that you are running the risk of it not working. In this case, we are keeping the vibe more or less the same. So I think so far it works. It's just a risk. And you know what else works so far, even though it's a risk? The Patreon! Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. If you want to support this channel more than you already are, consider joining the Patreon today. Even if you're not pledging any funds, do join the free tier at least, because this is where the non-gaming LFAs are going. What are those? Anime, film, TV, label, music, the kind of stuff that we usually don't do on the main channel on YouTube. Why? What we do on YouTube is inherently fair use. That does not stop bad actors, such as record labels, film studios, individual, independent rat scammers out there from abusing the copyright system on YouTube. So in order to just not deal with that for these LFAs, we're putting them here exclusively on Patreon with paid members, citizen tier, and above, getting early access to the content. So if you want to support this channel more than you already are, consider joining the Patreon today. Consider becoming a paid member today. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. You will get access either way, whether you are a paid member or not. Thank you to those who are already members, especially those who are paid members, particularly Real Nemesis, French Guy, and Ahmad. Your support means the world to me. For everybody else, become a member today. Consider becoming a paid member today. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Linked in the description down below. Patreon.com/JamesRBasterd. Become a member today. All right, there you go. I broke character and chuckled. No, I didn't chuckle. I choked. That's different. I don't think let me drink a bit of water. Hang on 1 second. Yeah, I stuttered a little bit there. Yeah, no, I don't have a I don't have a script, and I just blanked there, so happens. Anyway, let's see where it goes. There's this version of the melody, mostly the arpeggios. Okay, so right now we're having the arpeggios in the middle, synth in the front, but the bass is what is carrying the motif. The bass is what's carrying the motif right now, I think. Maybe not? Inverted melody and one of the synths in the background. Okay. So good. Yeah, like right now, one of the issues that I'm noticing is that we had a motif in the start, we developed it a little bit, and then we kind of just went on with the next ideas. The problem with introducing multiple motifs in your piece that is not a medley, because this is very evidently not a medley. The problem with not sticking and not committing to a single motif is that at what point did piece 1 start and piece 5 end? All of these share the same drum beat, but these are not sentences that are telling the same story in the same paragraph. Imagine each melody, each phrasing of the melody as a string of words. Whenever you speak or read or write something, you want to make sure that the ideas flow together, so that sentence 1 leads into sentence 2, which leads to sentence 3, so that you can have your paragraph written. If you change the subject halfway through your paragraph for no reason, then what are you doing? You know, it's like, imagine you are reading about water, and the first sentence is about water, and then the second sentence is about computer keyboards, and then the third sentence is about sponges, and then the fourth sentence is about potatoes. Unless you can manage to like link all of these things together, even if you write it all in the same book, that paragraph is going to be very difficult to convince people that is coherent work. So over here, we are having the same beat. We are having the same bass line going on, but we are bringing a lot of very different melodies that have nothing to do with one another, and we are not allowing any of these ideas to sprout over. We're planting a lot of seeds, and we're planting a lot of seeds, and instead of watering any of them, we are just planting more. So it is becoming a bit of a cluster. It's starting to become a bit of a cluster. It still sounds good. Like, each individual melody is still good. Each individual melody is still good, but the problem is that the ideas do not feel like they flow with one another. For example, if we were to take this concept that is happening right now and apply it to something else. For example, the Fifth Symphony. The motif is this. If we were to have... Let me think of another melody. It's like putting these melodies. We're putting melodies that by themselves are okay. These are motifs that are okay by themselves. But putting them one after another like this, even if I am sharing the chords with them, like, even if I'm putting all these melodies in a string, one against the other, one after another, under the same beat, we are not telling a we're not telling a single story. We are getting, by all intents and purposes, we're getting distracted. So, it is a risk that Waterflame is running over here, and we're starting, at least I'm starting to feel there's too many things happening at the same time, and we are not sticking to any one melody. We are just going from idea 1 to idea 2 to idea 3 to idea 4, but the problem is that idea 2 does not derive from idea 1, and idea 3 does not derive from idea 2 or from idea 1. We are just putting stuff after each other, so yeah, that's really good. Let's see. There we go, this is a bit of what we used before. New drum, okay. Okay, we've used this bass before. Mainly just using the drums over here. New melody. So the only thing that has been consistent so far is the concept of the call and response. That much has been consistent throughout the entire piece. The problem is not much else. See. Like Chinese food? It's okay, yeah. Finally reusing some of the music you used in the past. Finally bringing back some of the motifs. And we immediately, okay, so we finally, how can inconsistency be done well? Because in electronic music, your number one priority is not your motifs, is not your chord progression, it's not your melodies, it's your sound design, and this has really good sound design. Like, Waterflame has a really, really good sound. Every single piece we've done by Waterflame sounds really, really good. What about spicy? I'm not a big fan of spicy food anymore. I overdid it in high school, so yeah, no. So, yeah. The problem isn't the sound design. In electronic music, your number one priority is sound design. And that's what we're getting over here. It's really good sound design. Each note sounds really good by itself. Each melody sounds really good. The bass and the drums is really well designed. The problem is that after that, we have the rest. Now, for electronic music, doesn't matter. And right now we're seeing that, because it still sounds good enough. It's just that once you get to the substance, basically, electronic music is very superficial level. It's a very superficial type of music. What matters is the texture of it. It is literally book covers kind of music. Where as long as the book cover looks good, doesn't matter what the rest is. Doesn't matter. The substance of it is the book cover. It's book cover music. You can have incredible art. You can have incredible stories inside. But that's not what the vast majority of people listen to it for. So yeah. There we go. We have this cadential motif from before. Let's see. Okay, we use a little bit from before. Some of the arpeggios back. Finally, a little bit of the initial motif. And something completely different. Okay, we bring one last run of one of the cadential motifs that we used before, a little bit of that cadences from before, and we just ended. We end up saying a bunch of things without really saying much, but it sounded cool. It sounded cool enough. Like, it did have a good enough sound design, and that is more than enough. So this electronic music is all about style. Yeah, those sounds were there before. The problem is, some of them were at the start, some of them were in the middle, some of them were in the later middle, and some of them were right before this. And we just used them all in a string with one another. So yeah, we basically took random words from the book and we put them as the final sentence. Still, electronic music is style over substance. If you have both style and substance, good for you. But electronic music is style first. And this, I think, is a good example. Because this was... I love Waterflame. I've loved the tracks we've done by Waterflame. This was an incoherent mess. This was absolutely incoherent. We had a couple of ideas, then we moved on to the next couple of ideas, then we moved on to the next couple of ideas. We kept the drum beat consistent. We kept the texture consistent, and that was what carried this piece. There was no coherency over here. We just kept changing things around until we reached the end. It still worked. So the theming was semi-constant. Yeah, the texture itself, the sound design was mostly good. The accompaniment remained pretty consistent, but the problem is that we just kept changing the melody. We just kept changing the melody over and over and over and over again, and we just did not cement that motif. And that ended up costing. Now, was that enough to turn this into a badly crafted piece? No. It wasn't. It still sounded good enough. And because this is going on Geometry Dash, chances are the kids that are going to be playing this level are not going to pay attention to that. They're not going to pay attention. But this is that gent, on principle, something similar. Yeah. On principle, something similar to gent. But it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, it's not going to matter that much, but it is what happened. So right now, because when you're making music, you have to keep a careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, too much of the same thing, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. And in this case, we were just keeping new material on top of new material on top of new material. We did not really develop any of the motifs that we had. We just kept bringing new ones, which is a common mistake that many composers do at the start. And considering that this is Waterflame's, one of his early gigs being Geometry Dash, good for you, dude. Good for you. Hell yeah. But yeah, with that, there you have it. Geometrical Dominator by Waterflame, featured in Geometry Dash, licensed for the Geometry Dash soundtrack, is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube archive thing, thank you for watching, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever thing you use, like the video, share, comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, that's where everything gets announced first, whether it's the streams going live, the videos going up at the channels, updates, Reddits, giveaways, everything gets announced there first. We have the community there, we hang out, we chat, we steal memes from other people's servers, claim them as our own, where I host the Vintage Story community server, that kind of stuff. Also, share these videos with everybody that you know. Use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord, coordinates for that, so linked in the description. Help the channel grow. Members get early access to the content, the schedule. The videos will be on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting it every 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has instructions on what to do. If you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim from Monday through Friday. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch, both linked in the description. So, if you live in Las Cabras, the goats, and you're like, yeah, but what time is whatever time it is in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch, both linked in the description, and it's going to show the streaming schedule up to date in your local time zone, accounting for daylight savings if necessary. And subscribe to the gaming channel, follow the gaming channel, because of course I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. It's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. We play games on the later part of the stream, and then the VODs for every game we play live eventually end up over here. So subscribe to the channel, linked in the description, or search on YouTube, same as James R. Basterd, swap the J for a G, and you got it. And subscribe to the Reacts channel. The LFAs are React format. This is where we are putting the Reacts for everything else. James Reacts Basterd. Subscribe to the channel, linked in the description, or search on YouTube, same as James R. Basterd, extend the R to React, and you got it. And yeah, there you have it. Geometrical Dominator, Waterflame Geometry Dash. It goes to show that electronic music does not need substance. It was still good enough and for Waterflame, and I'm pretty sure this was very, like, I'm pretty sure he's learned, like, Waterflame has learned since, because we didn't really see this in later works. There you go. Yeah, let's move on.